Hello friends, how is everyone? So I actually had a request to do this look and I feel like would be a really good holiday look. I'm going to tag the artist. Beautiful, beautiful work. I'm going to put a little bit of my spin on it, but I love this idea. I feel like it would just be a beautiful holiday glam. Gorgeous. I'm very excited. But also, you can kind of see it here, but there will be sparkle and I'm pretty sure it's this. Either way, this is going to look just like whatever that is, and it's really pretty. So let's get started. I want to keep all of this volume I have here in the front, so what I like to do is I'll take just a little clippy like this and I'll grab each end. Y'all know I do my Bram Stoker Dracula here. I look absolutely out of control, but it really does help keep volume in my hair. The first thing I'm noticing is that there is complete coverage all over the eye. So what we're gonna do is we're going to use clean canvas. We want even this freckle. We want everything to be very full coverage. Let's go in here. And if you're going, what are you doing going in there? I don't have a lot left. So it's already nice and flat in there. So it's picking up on the brush really nice and flat. So let's go ahead, start there. I'm gonna take it over this way. It's really satisfying to watch this. And this is a product that I have been using for years. And we're just gonna go ahead and take this all the way up to our brow bone. And then I'm just gonna push it ever so lightly into my brows. I'm not gonna carve them, but I am gonna wanna take it all the way up. So just push a little bit in there, and then because of these bristles, it creates kind of hair-like effect in here. Nice and full coverage. That is so satisfying. Freckles gone. It's good stuff. All right, I don't know what we're gonna do over here, but I always just bring that base all the way out because I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. And the further you take something across over this way or over this way, you're just able to make sure it's really nice and even across the skin, because you could either cover this up or melt it away later with micellar water. So it's really not that big of a deal. It just kind of gives you a little bit more space to work with, and it ensures that it's really nice and smooth. So the eye look is going to be pretty simple, and something I really like about it is that it doesn't look like it's a whole lot of blending, and it also looks like it's kind of just placed. Let's go look at it one more time together, but it's kind of just this oval through here, and that's not a shape I normally do, and I'm excited to do it. So let's study it together. So what I'm seeing here is it's really, really bare through here, pretty bare over this way, and it's kind of just this round shape. See it there too? Oh, I'm pointing over there to that side. So yeah, I like it. I might put a little hair of my twist on there, but I'm going to pretty much follow this. But I know what we're really all here for, and it's the sparkle. I'm excited because we're gonna hop into this palette. I feel like this is gonna be the perfect color. This is the Stone Cold Fox palette I was talking about yesterday. I'm gonna go get a link. I feel like someone mentioned that these were on sale yesterday. Hopefully they're still on sale. I'm gonna grab this shade. Now I want you to notice I'm grabbing it on an E28 because I'm just gonna be able to tap. I'm gonna start here on my lid, tap it over this way. We're gonna build it. It's the perfect color too. This makes me so happy. So just take your time, build it up. I feel like now I need to make it a little bit more taupey. It's going a little bit more gray. I'm just gonna grab a little bit of this shade. That'll add some brown to it, and then we'll move off of the lid, and then we'll start to come up here. Let me go get a link for this palette right now before we finish this. Okay, so it's not on sale there, but I did see it's 20% off on Ulta right now. So if you want to hop over to Ulta to get it, I'm telling you, this is probably one of my favorite palettes of all time. All right, picking up that same shade, the initial one that we started with. I'm just going to keep building this up. We'll use a different brush to kind of smooth the edges. Let me go see how far it went out that way. But I know it didn't go too far over this way, and any type of creasing here is completely normal. This is not scary at all at this point. We will eventually set it again. If you want to smooth it, you can. If you don't even want to mess with it, don't worry about it. We're not technically there yet. Just check the picture. It needs a little bit more pink perfect. And then it does go pretty far up to the brow, but only through here. So I'm just gonna keep adding that color into the mix here. Nice. I was looking at the picture and the cooler tones on her are pulling a lot more red, and that's because she has a lot warmer undertone, but have no fear. Have no fear. We'll grab red eyeshadow. And what we're gonna do is, notice I did switch brushes for fluffier here because I don't want it to turn. I'm not going for a red eyeshadow look. I'm kind of transforming this because there's already brown there, but I need it to pull more red. So this is a really fun color theory moment. I'm gonna just lightly add, look how little is on that brush. I'm just gonna keep lightly adding that until I get that more cool red that she has on. We have to adjust things for our undertones. And there you go. You just keep slowly adding. Slow. All right. But we still needed the coolness because if I had just went in with reds or even a red brown, it could have went too red. So starting with the cooler tone is never a bad idea. All right, so from here, I like that we're still in a wet state over here because I feel that I'm really trying to keep the eyeshadow out of this area. So remember, this still has that eyeshadow base on there. So we can just kind of tap, and then what we could do is we could just set it with a color in the palette. Yeah, I'm looking right at it. Stay with the Stone Cold Fox palette, and we'll set it through there. Make sure that this is nice and cleaned up, that it didn't creep up too far. All right, now let's grab this shade, which is going to be lighter than my skin tone, but it's going to really make it nice and poppy. Fun. This is definitely not a shape I would gravitate towards, but I'm really enjoying myself. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my brow bone as well. And it does look like there's a little bit of depth, but I'm gonna have to switch brushes and let me figure out exactly what color. So it looks like there's no liner. I'm gonna double check. I feel like sometimes I see things that aren't there. I'm just gonna grab that color and that color, and I'm just going to tap this kind of at an angle at my lash line. So we don't want it to go through here, and because sometimes leaning your head back can just kind of expose that, and we're going at an angle. So from here on the lid, and all you got to do is hold it this way. See how I'm holding the brush at an angle, and then that's just going to give you that shape. It's very subtle, but it's there. I feel like in this picture, what you're seeing is mostly lash band, making it look a lot darker here. I'm gonna try to do a really thin line, but I'm gonna start with a tight line. I feel like a tight line is the safe way to go here because I'll be like, hooey! But I like the kind of really thin line that she has done here. So let's do a tight line. What a tight line is going to do is it's going to go, see, it's not going under here, it's going in the lashes. It really makes a big difference. And it also really helps to hold your lashes up with another brush. And I'm using my MAC gel liner. Just kind of hold them up. It gives you definition. It's like hidden definition. Ooh, look at that. Now, like I said, I'm still gonna put a little bit on top, but this will kind of make sure that I have a little bit more of a guideline and I won't get too wingy. By the way, this is still available. This is the E26. That's what this is. This one's still available on Amazon. Everybody finally started to understand how amazing the E26 is, and then we sold out on our website. But there's still a few left on Amazon, and I'm gonna get you, that's the link right there. So now what I'm gonna do is, because I have a guideline, I see it, it's in my lashes. See how much darker this lash line is than this? What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do a couple taps. This is a lot easier to do into a mirror. And I'm just gonna keep it really close to the lash line. Tapping is a good idea for this. And I'm using kind of the side of the brush when I'm tapping instead of the tip of the brush. I use the tip for the tight line, and then I use the side to keep it very close to the lash line. We're gonna put lashes on. We're not there yet. I wanna try out this Givenchy Peach Corrector. This particular shade is pulling very purple underneath here, purpley blue. So this is gonna be great. Let's try this out. Where's that D2? I'm gonna use this for foundation today too. This by this and this is what I mean. Not this tiny brush would be here for 3 days. Nice and thin. This one's not wildly pigmented. Not a bad thing, just something to note. Bring it over this way. Okay. We're gonna let that dry down for about a minute. I'm just gonna do my Lily lashes in the style Go Getter. I feel like it'll look pretty close to that. Remember, they're body heat activated, so what you're seeing me do is really get it close to the lash line. There we go. For foundation, I'm just gonna grab my CoverGirl Clean Invisible. I love this one. It's a bop. I like this one more than the Dior. I like this better than a lot of the foundations. Not all of them. I should say a lot of the high end. I just feel like the match is so good. But I want a little less coverage today. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the D2 again. Oh, I'm so excited. So many of you are loving this, and I'm just going to buff this upwards. Now with buffing, we're not gonna get as much coverage as we would with the C42, but I do find this to be a lot faster, and that's kind of what everybody was wanting. Because I know that not every day is a full glam day. So, but if you do want coverage, you just do a couple stamps. But I do know that buffing is going to be a lot faster, and I want to be mindful of everybody's routine and what they feel comfortable with. I want to design brushes that no matter what your technique is, you can enjoy them. So we've been around since 2020 now, and I want to make sure to listen to your feedback and give you things that you actually want. And everybody wanted a double-ended brush, and you know what? I really didn't. But now that I did double-ended my way, I just can't wait for y'all to get this. I want to stop yapping and just have y'all yap. Can y'all yap about them, please? Even the way that it's weighted. And I know you're like, well, then it's heavy. Why would I want that? Weighted means control, and it actually changes the way that your makeup goes on. Tiny little details. You might have other dual endeds, but I promise you, you don't have one. No, nobody has this fiber. It's delightful. Just try it. Now let's put it on this side. It's just fun to watch it blend in. I do always like to put things on my jawline. I just feel like it's so much easier to kind of bring the product up than it is to put some here or put some here and then work there and there. It's kind of just so much easier to bring it up. And then you're gonna see me kind of stamp where I have redness, but buff everywhere else. Anywhere that you feel you're gonna need coverage, it's a tap. So I disappeared, and I have explaining to do because I kind of switched my foundation, and the reason why is because I forgot I wanted to film Hailey Bieber's foundation technique. Let me just go get the clip and show you what I wanted to film. This is what I wanted to explain. I actually had quite a few people DM this to me, and they wanted to know how to kind of do this. So I used products that I already have, because obviously I have the Dior, but I wanted to use something that I don't want you to feel like you have to go get the Dior or anything. So I kind of break it down and explain it to you. So I did film that. So I have something different on my face, but I'm about to put, I'm going to tell you what I have on my face, but I'm about to put the CoverGirl kind of on top a little bit more again. So initially, remember how I put the CoverGirl on? Well, I had to wipe it off because I forgot. Normally I'm pretty good at multitasking, but I just forgot. So I did have to take that off, unfortunately. Please don't be upset with me. But what I did, so you're gonna see first, is I grabbed a serum. I have this serum No, I'm not telling you have to have this serum. Go get any serum. But she uses her skincare. I forget what it's called. Something milky. It's like a milky toner. I use this one. It's very similar in texture. But all you need, you could use anything. Even this. I like the Watermelon Glow. I don't have it right there, but the Glow Recipe. All you're looking for is a super, super thin serum. That's all you're looking for. Even though this one is milky, you don't have to have milky. It just happened to be milky. So what we did is we take our thin serum, use your serum. Then all you do is you grab your most pigmented concealer. You want super thin. The whole technique is about very, very, very thin. She used this Dior and it is very, very thin and pigmented. So that's all you're looking for. You're looking for your most thin and your most pigmented products in your collection. That's all you gotta look for. It's very easy. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and use this same one. This one might be a hair too dark for me now, but I could lighten it with my Givenchy blue corrector. Let's blend it out before we do that. Let's see. I'm just gonna add some more coverage. I feel like we're on 42 different versions of what I'm doing. So remember, we are recreating the look with the sparkle in a minute, but I feel like that's way more full coverage than what I've got going on, but that's not really where I'm at in my makeup life right now. I might get there again one day, but I'm not super, super, super full coverage. So I'm just gonna take this and we'll just focus, kind of fluff this out a little bit. I might get back to super full coverage. But right now, I don't even mind if I see my little freckle peeking through. Sometimes me and him, we fight, but we're not fighting right now. Let's grab the other end just for some precision here. No, I think the concealer is going to be fine once I blend it out. And I do realize that this might be extreme full coverage to some, so I never want you to feel like you have to copy anything that I do here. Just take the tips that excite you, that make you feel inspired. So don't feel that, oh, well, that's the only way I can do makeup if that is what that is called. It's not. Makeup has no rules. The only thing I want you to understand the most out of makeup and let it be a little bit of your guiding light is I just want you to understand your undertone. That's all I want. Everything else, that's just icing and sprinkles. Let's look at this. Ooh, the eye makeup's pretty daggum close. All right, so it looks like it's super, super bright here on the inner corner. Let's use a hair of white. We're having fun. I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand here. I still have a little bit of that foundation. I need to take that off, but I'll leave it. Okay, see the white, we're not even gonna use all that, but what I was doing is because I don't want a whole lot of it, I made it super, super thin, and then we're gonna grab it with this side of the D too. Okay, it's on our brush. Let's do this. And we're gonna go ahead and just press it in here. And then once we set it with our Mario powder, it'll dull it a little bit, but it'll still be nice and bright, but it won't be quite as scary. Definitely needed that balance underneath it though. If I was to just put this, it could turn gray. So the balance is my skin tone underneath it. I'm gonna grab a little bit more of the white. I've been using these a lot from LA Girl. I think what I didn't love about them is the applicator. So I just put them on my hand and then pick them up with the brush. And I really love the formula. I'll set it with our Mario powder here. Still using one close to my skin tone, but it's not going to completely cover up the white, as you can see. And it's still gonna look like the picture, but it's still gonna help balance. It's always about balance. That might be a good trick if you want to use white concealers, to come back and use powder closer to your skin tone. And then I like to just take a little bit, especially when I'm just wearing one color, just feel like it really smooths. Look how smooth that looks. Look how it even smooths here. It's the little things, y'all. Now I am adding a little secret something on top of here. I can't tell you what it is. I'm just gonna do it with this brush. This one's from the Essential Travel set. This is smoothing. And I'm kind of just focusing it right here. Now what you're seeing me do is blend it out this way. And I'm kind of just letting that be my inner corner highlight. We're just doing kind of an whole inner corner matte highlight instead of your classic shimmer. Now let's do our waterline. This one is from Urban Decay. This one's actually meant to go on your waterline. I don't know if y'all know this. I try to teach safety. Am I always safe? Personally, no. I'm a heathen. I'll put glitter on with contacts. Don't you ever do that. But I like to just at least give you options and educate you. A lot of liners aren't always waterline safe, but this one in particular can claim that. So if you want to be extra safe, this is one that is approved for the actual waterline. And then because I feel like I lose control very quickly, I just take a little bit out of my waterline right in the center. I grab an E26 before that sets, and then I just start to blend each way. And the smaller the brush, the more control we're gonna maintain. And then I just really wanna wiggle it into my lashes. I'm gonna do my YSL bronzer. I feel like it's a little less red, and her bronzer does not look red at all. It looks very, very warm, very classic bronzer. So I feel like this one's gonna be perfect. Nice. I feel like her blush placement is through here. I'm going to maybe do it to about here, not so far down for my face shape. I'm all for having fun with blush experimentation, but for me, I never want you to fill in this box. Just for me, I don't like my blush to go past this curve of my mouth. That does not mean that that's the only way to do it. I want you to experiment with your blush till you find something you really, really like, or just do it different every single day. But generally, that's where I don't want my blush to go past. It looks like the bottom lash line has a tiny amount of brown smudged into it. So I'm just taking it on an E29. That way it's a more diffused situation under here. Ever so often, I pull out one of these because it's probably one of my favorite powder blush formulas of all time. This is shade number 6. These are super spicy priced, but I get excited to use them still to this day. They just never betray me. And that was one tap in, by the way. D1 is coming soon. If you just want a blush that never betrays you, blends so easily, lasts, I'm sorry they're so spicy priced, but this formula is exceptional, and it's been one of my favorites for years. I just don't use it all the time because I feel guilty every time I use it. Then I like to take powder on this brush and just kind of melt everything together. And since we're not using super full coverage foundation, don't be afraid to do buffing motions. It's not gonna mess with. Also the fibers, I'm gonna start screaming these fibers are gonna change your makeup life. But they're so soft, but the density is so perfect that it's not going to disturb your makeup in any way. Yeah, that looks like a filter. Now for the lip, y'all normally don't like when I do the really brown lip liner. So I'm going to do this adjacent. I don't like the brown lip liner. That's okay. So we will compromise, and we're gonna start with a very cool tone shade. This is probably my favorite Kiko Milano lip liner. And if you ever wanna do brown lip liner and you wanna experiment with it, this is the way to do it. Grab a lip liner you're super comfortable with, okay? Get that on. Just get it in there. Ooh, yeah. Oh, I love this color so much. The moment we've all been waiting for. This has been around, I don't even know how long. It is one of the greatest sparkles that the makeup world has ever known. This is the Makeup Forever Starlit Diamond Powder. And if you're seeing this for the first time, you're seeing makeup history. Now, it will want to run away. It will. But it's not as mobile as, say, like a MAC glitter. But what I like to do is I'll take, where's my spray? Here it is. I'll take my Aim Cosmetics spray. Just hit it with a little mist. I'm going to film this eye for TikTok, but we're going to do this eye together here. Watch this, okay? That's it. Let it dry down. Just a hair. Take a fluffy brush. Because you're wanting more of a fluff. And I'm just going to grab here what's in the lid. And then all we're going to do is just tap that on top. And just wait till you see this with that camera. And you can see that there's going to be one or two flecks that might fall down. It's beautiful that way, but you can see that little bit of moisture. And I did apply it while it was still wet, okay? This is starting to dry down now, but you want to go pretty much right in after about 5 seconds. And just tap, tap, tap. Oh, it's so pretty! I love it. It's just so pretty. All right, I might come back, and when I have a gloss on, it's going to be this Hello Kitty gloss. I haven't tried it yet, and I wanted to film that too. Oh, isn't that pretty? Oh, I hope it's good. Let's at least swatch it here. I always like to just make sure y'all see everything first, because I know it's not going to change the color. It's just going to add some sparkle. That's pretty. It's not wowing there, but remember, this is front camera, and anytime I do a sparkle, I want to film it with back camera because back camera is just on another level. If you ever wonder what the heck I'm talking about, front camera is where you're just in selfie mode, just right here. I'm just sitting, this is the front of my phone. And then if you flip your phone around, the quality is always going to be better with the back camera. All finished. This is such a beautiful look. Now, obviously I said I was going to put a little bit more of my twist on here, but this was the sparkle. And Jean, can you quit the snorting? And I didn't go quite as nude with the lip, but I think this look is just outstanding. I just wanted to kind of put what I feel most comfortable in. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this. I love y'all so much. I'm gonna go finish filming everything else I wanted to film, and then I'll post the final look in case you want a screenshot. I'll definitely save this to my highlights. I need to save yesterday's to my highlights too. So I'm gonna go finish filming, and then I'll do that. And I love you with all my heart. I'm not gonna post tonight, but if you need me, you know where to find me. Love you.